So let me share the screen. Visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So I have already uploaded the last video tutorial, that is the NER, named entity recognition and data reconciliation. The last day we took in the physical classroom, but recorded it, and now it is uploaded. And today also I have given possibly I have started recording. Yes, recording started. And this particular class, as I requested all of you to present here, because it is directly related with the project I have given to all of you. And the project submission date is possibly, I don't know, 30th June or something like that. I need to write it here. Uh, So what this particular project meant actually, yesterday we talked in the class that what we need to do. I have demonstrated something to you, but as you need to work on this particular area, by your own. So I think that a repetition and something new what I am going to show you, that what to do with the crossref, how can you configure your API search syntax, how can you get data, how can you transfer data from crossref to the JSON data to CSV data, and then how can you integrate it in your OpenRefine, because rest of the things, the API, data extraction format, all I have discussed with all of you. But it requires bit reading both the crossref API tutorial, what I have shown you yesterday, as well as the Grail functions of OpenRefine. So first, let me tell you that these are the two important sources. One is the you can search by crossref GitHub API. So the moment you search by crossref GitHub API, so one nice page they have prepared here. This is crossref REST API at the GitHub, and that documentation is quite good, with lot of explanation, examples, and so on. So this is the notice, and these are the lot of things are there, that how what is an API, how to do it, what is the etiquette, API rate limit, and different kind of path, that is walks path, funder path. We already discussed this last class. Then how can you query a particular work, a particular funder with the ID? Then there are different kind of parameters, and so on. So you have to read it. And the next important reading task is the OpenRefine manual. If you go to openrefine.org, so you will be getting a link to the manual, a very nice manual they have also prepared. The most important part is the Grail part. This is the documentation. So this documentation you can utilize. There is a book also using OpenRefine, and that book we have already printed out. If you want to make a copy, you can ask me. And different other documentation. This is the official documentation page. Now there are different kind of how to start a project, how to export data, how to reconcile data, all kind of areas are there. And the most important thing is this one, under expression that is called GRAIL, General Refine Expression Language. Previously it was called Google Refine Expression Language. Now it is called General Refine Expression Language. Basic syntax, how can you manipulate different kind of controls, Boolean operations, and so on. Okay. Now, a few basic things what I am going to tell you here is related to your project. So, first job is installing and configuring OpenRefine, and I think most of you have done it. Am I correct? The first task.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So most of you have already installed and configured OpenRefine, and you are not having any kind of problem. But one particular thing you must remember that how to install different kind of plugin in OpenRefine. That is also important. So apart from this official documentation, if you go to openrefine.org and go to the download section, so OpenRefine, just like your Omeka, so the real power of Omeka comes through the plugin. It is not up to that extent here, but to some extent, some beautiful plugins they have developed, like list of extension and plugins, RTF, Transform, and so on. And how VIP Beats is another good one. Then some of the things are not listed here, but very useful. I'll be showing you from where you can have it. But one particular thing you must remember that when you are downloading an extension and installing an extension, please check the version support. If it is saying that it supports version 3.4.1, then possibly it will be also supporting 3.5. But as it is saying this one, GeoRefine, it supports only 2.8. So there is every chance that it will not be supported by version 3.1. So select only those extension or use only those extension which is supported by version 3.5. It's most welcome. If not, at least 3.4.1. Otherwise, your the whole system may go down. And what is the way to install a plugin? The things are very simple actually, but you need to know that how to install a plugin. After downloading that particular plugin file, you need to come to your home folder. Under home, there will be a .local folder. If you press Ctrl H, then all hidden file will be shown under your home directory. So under .local, you will be seeing that .local. Initially, if you don't see any kind of folder, you need to suppose I'm again pressing Ctrl H. So all folders are going. These are called hidden folders. So I'm pressing again Ctrl H together. So all folder will be again visible. So then you need to come to this local folder where it is local. Then under local you will be finding a folder called share. You go to share. Under share you will be finding a folder called OpenRefine, hopefully. So this is OpenRefine, and I'm using different lot of our different versions side by side as a tester. So I am just concentrating on version 3.5. Under version 3.5, there will be different project folder you have created, and one particular folder will be there or it may not be there. So if you just first try to find out whether there is any folder called extensions, and don't forget the S here, plural extensions. So if it is not there, you simply create a new folder here named extension. Then under that particular folder, you place the extracted this one extracted extension, like I am using here RTF extension, snack extension, hipbits extension, and so on. And this is called named entity extraction extension. So I extracted it here, and it created module folder. So every time you are collecting your plugin, directly place your original plugin file here, because maybe in later on you may not finding that particular folder after 3 years or 4 years. So place it under here, then extract it and restart your OpenRefine. After restarting OpenRefine, all of these extensions will be come into effect. So that is the golden rule of extension placement, you please remember that you need to use this under home. There will be a .local folder. Under that it will be share, open define. Then you are using a version 3.5 only, so it will be direct there. As I am using different version, I have created a folder called 3.5, but for you it is not needed. Then under that particular folder there will be extensions. If it is not there, you have to create that folder, and under extension you need to place your this one extension after extracting it. So this is the thing with the extension. And now I am going to show you one by one that how I am preparing a project by using OpenRefine. Let me start my OpenRefine. So I am starting OpenRefine 3.5.2. Most of you are using that. And I did something extra here, so I am using my own script. So you possibly starting your OpenRefine by calling the refine.sh file. So it will take little bit of time in my case because some of the extra load I have given. So after my OpenRefine started, you all know that automatically it opens up a page localhost colon 3333, and in my case it will not be opened automatically. I close that option, so I will call after it is starting. I will call because a lot of extensions are there. That's why it is requiring some of the additional time setting. So after your open define is starting and configuration, it's working fine. You are already tested a few things there, but now I need to collect data. So what data I need to collect? Use CrossRef. CrossRef is a cross section of the commercial publishers and open access publishers. So in that particular platform, they are sharing their metadata, including abstract, and metadata mainly related with the journal papers, book chapters, conference proceedings, then different kind of funding information, and so on. So it's a huge, mine of bibliographic data, and it is providing some beautiful API syntax through which we can pinpoint that data gathering or data fetching. Like I need only, yesterday I was talking, I need only title, abstract, and DY, and I need only those paper uh, which has got abstract only. So in this way, and I'm taking a real life example for Orpon. Orpon is now going to classify different, not classifying, indexing of different kind of LGBTQI related paper by using a vocabulary standard. So how he can find out, for example, how he can find out uh, different papers with abstract on LGBTQI. Okay, that is a real life problem I am taking here. So that you can understand, you replace LGBTQIA with your own area, different kind of keyword and descriptors of your own dissertation area, and then you can find out that what to do. Then after getting the data from CrossRef, I need to convert that JSON formatted data into CSV data before importing into OpenRefine. Then I can import that particular file in my, say for example, I will be using desktop. So I will be using desktop. So I'm deleting all kind of CSV files from here so that it will be clear to you that what is downloaded and how it is downloaded. Now let us go one by one. Let me check my OpenRefine is started or not. Yes, it started. And let me check whether I can access it or not. So localhost colon 3333. So it is working. Let it work. Now I am coming to our this CrossRef tutorial. So CrossRef, here you see I collected all of my communication with the CrossRef people because after reading all of this tutorial and examples, this particular material I will be sharing with you that how it works and how to collect. So just concentrate on our all kind of description. Everything is there. So in one go you can have everything. Now let me come to the today's problem. Suppose Arnav want to retrieve all kind of bibliographic information on LGBTQI, different aspects of LGBTQIA, and want to you know retrieve data selectively. He needs only, say for example, title, abstract, and DOI. So DOI, title, abstract, say subject you can omit. Say I need only DOI, title, and so on. So let me explain this one. So the up to this, this is up to this is the API URL for CrossRef, api.crossref.org. Then I am taking the path of the works, that is works means resources, book, chapter, conference, proceeding, journal article. Then I am querying the bibliography. Query.bibliography will search your given query in title, abstract. That means every kind of metadata and in subject. So title, abstract, and subject. Altogether, this is called query.bibliography. So I'm searching this query.bibliography. Then I am carefully selecting my term, that all the document with the term LGBT or plus means or LGBTQ or LGBTQI or LGBTQIA. So anywhere in the title, abstract, or subject, if there are terms, different terms are related with the basic concept of LGBTQIA. Some author refers as LGBT, LGBTQ, LGBTQI, LGBTQIA. So all kind of variant I have given. So in your dissertation area also you are selecting 5-6 synonyms, important keywords. Then you can make a query.bibliographic search by adding plus sign with this particular keywords you have selected. Then I am filtering the type. Every kind of document I don't need, I want to filter. So filter is equal to, and when you are connecting or combining conditions, so you need to give an ampersand sign. That's a rule of REST API. So this is query.bibliographic and ampersand. Filter is equal to type is book chapter. So type colon book chapter, comma, another filter I am adding type colon journal article, and another filter I am adding you retrieve only those documents where abstract is available, because Orphan requires abstract and title both for correctly assigning this subject keywords from the thesaurus. So has abstract is equal to true. Then I want selectively, again I am giving a condition. Select is equal to, if you do not give select, everything will come. So DOI, author, title, subject, publisher, everything, source, name of the container, source container, that means journal name or book name, everything will come. We do not require in this case this one. So I'm selecting that you retrieve only select is equal to DOI, title, abstract, and I am telling ampersand rows how many records. I already told you yesterday default retrieve 20 records. So one row is equal to one record. So 20 rows means 20 record. If you do not give rows, by default it will take rows is equal to 20. But I want to retrieve more records because otherwise 20, if there is 20 only records and there are 400 records, need to make 20 CSV sets. That I don't want. Why should I want that kind of drudgery or repetitive work? So I'm going for the maximum. CrossRef can give you maximum 1,000 records against a call. That's a rate limit. So I am using the maximum. So 1,000 means 0 to 999, and offset is equal to 0. That means suppose there are 3,000 records. So there are three sets will be there. If I am querying for 1,000 records per set, so there will be three sets. So this offset means the set number. So offset is equal to 0 is set number 1. Then in the next step, if I want to retrieve the set number 2 also, what I need to do, that is I need to again select that another 1,000 records you give me, but offset will be 1,000. That means offset here placing your cursor at record 0. Then when your first set downloading is over, you are placing the download cursor at record number 1,000, because 1,000 records means you are starting from 0. The record number will be 999, that is 9,099, sorry, 999. Then if you want the next 1,000 records, you need to give another 1,000 rows. Rows is equal to 1,000, but this time set offset at 1,000. So that will retrieve the second 1,000 of the 3,000. Then how to retrieve the third set of the 3,000? Then I have to give offset is equal to 2,000. So it will then retrieve 2,000 to 2,999. Okay, got it. Any query? Because this you need to understand properly. So this is the set 1, this is the set 2 of 1,000 record. So I'm setting cursor at 1,000, and this is the set 3 of 3,000 record. So this one will retrieve the first 1,000. That means you can say 0 to 999. So this query will retrieve 1,000 to 199, and this will set, sorry, this will set 2,000 to 299. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So so as we are all set, now let me check what happens with this query in CrossRef. So I'm now going to CrossRef for the first 1,000 record. Okay, but let us see that how many records are there. So I'm going to this one. I'm just copied and paste. So my suggestion is that better you first create your query, then you go to CrossRef. Then I am asking CrossRef that give me result. So here you can see this is a scary looking record, but CrossRef also give you a scope for pretty printing. So this is the pretty printing of JSON, and this is the raw data what we have observed. As 1,000 records are there, it may take time, and this is the header information, that how it is actually communicating with the backend CrossRef. So in the JSON format, you will see initially nothing until and unless you click the message. That means the retrieval set information. So it is saying that against your query where has abstract is equal to true. So there are total 2168 number of records, and item per page, as I said that this is you retrieve 1,000 records, so it is saying items per page is equal to 1,000. Now where are these 1,000 records? So these are basically given here under the item. So the moment you click item, so all 1,000 records, one record against a row will be retrieved. So it's starting from 0 and ending with, you can see, 999. And if you are not giving any rows or offset statements, by default the first offset will come with the 20 records. So now it is 1000 records. So item per page is 1000, and any of these record if I check blindly, so you can see I asked for DOI, I asked for title, I asked for abstract. So this is abstract, this is title, and this is DOI. So only these three things came, and anytime you can this close it, or you can check another one. Okay. So unfortunately, one thing is there, that there is no language limitation. That means you cannot limit by language, like language is equal to English or something like that. So that is a limitation of CrossRef API. I already reported them. Possibly in the next improvement they will check, because but they are agreed with my requirement, because it's a global database, so many languages are there. So you can see this is a Spanish language. Okay. So manually we need to detect that which are not English and other things. That is one kind of limitation. So let us go for the downloading part. So now these 1000 records. So there will be three sets. First set will be 1000. Second set will be second 1000, and third set will be 168. So there are 2168 number of papers. So there will be three different sets. Now I am going to raw data, copying it, and coming to the JSON to CSV converter. Yesterday I demonstrated before you that how does it work. So I'm using here conclone.io. There are many actually if you search by JSON to CSV converter, but this one is my favorite. So here I am pasting it, Control C. Don't if you are dealing with 1000 records, so keep your patience, because it will take time. 1000 records is a huge data set to for copy and paste. Okay, so paste it. Separator you can use either comma or this thing. Now you see, with a little bit of time, it created a three column table for me, CSV file, because I already asked for only three columns. So if there are number of columns and your data set is huge, it is slightly difficult to manage. So always go for the most important elements through the select command in API. Then you can download the entire CSV. Click download. So it will ask you that what to save and what should be the this file name, etc. But if you are dealing with 1000 records, so please keep your patience. So save file. I have clicked OK. It is asking me what to save, what should be the file name. So let me name it result1.csv. Then I am placing it directly under the desktop. So it is coming now to the desktop. Let us check whether it came or not. So it is came already, result1.csv. Now I am going for the next one. So it's always better to clean up this if you are going to use for further. So just refresh it, it will be cleaned. So before after downloading, you will need to clean it, because I am going to utilize it further. And I'm coming to my next query. So the entire query will be the same. What I will be changing, as I told you, that this time my offset will be 1000. That means already 02999 record I have downloaded. So let us now start from 1000 and display records. So it will be starting from 2000 and ending with 1000 and ending with 1999. Now I am again giving this data. So this time it came the next 1000. So here also you can see that item per page 1000 and everything, but this time all items will be, again it will be showing you 0 to 999, but 0 to 999, but here it is actually record number 1000. This is actually showing in this particular 1000 record set it is 0, 1, 2 and so on. Okay. So let us now again go for the same route, call for the raw data here. After raw data, copy it. After copying, come to your converter. So it is not yet clear. So if it is not yet clear, then you can do one thing, again go to this .io and call for JSON. So click clear and I am pasting it. After pasting, again you need to wait a bit because you are transferring 1000 records in one go. So it takes some time. So I pasted again. Similarly, the second 1000 came, and again I will download the same process. Save it. Okay. It will be asking me the name. So this time I am giving the same desktop, but this will be named as result2.csv. And now again I am going for cleaning this one. It is clean now. I'm going for my third set. So again I will come here and my offset will be 2000 now, because up to 1999 record I got it. So 2000 offset. So now here it should be around 168. So it is showing that items per page 1000 because I have given 1000, but exactly it will not be 1000. It will be possibly 167 or 168. Yes. So it is 168. 168 number of records. That means 0 to 167. So all 2167 number of records now came. Now I am going to raw data, third set, convert it, and this time you see number of records are less, so almost instantly it can convert. Now the download. So this will be result3.csv. Okay. So now I have got three result. Result 1, result 2 and result 3. 3 CSV. At this point of time, before jumping into OpenRefine itself, let me close this one. My job is done. Now, before making a quantum jump inside this, OpenRefine, what I'll do, I will try to combine this CSV file as a singular CSV file, as a single CSV file, subject to the condition. my column names are the same, and there should not be here it is 3, there it is 4, there it is 5. No, all CSV must have equal number of columns, and all column must be named in the same way. That means title forward slash 0 means every title column should be title forward slash 0, and that is already ensured through my CSV converter. So until and unless I am changing this, every change we are going to conduct in OpenRefine. But before that, we need to merge, and the conditions for merging is that you have equal number of columns in every CSV file, and all columns are named in the same way, including this is case sensitive. So something is uppercase or lowercase, it will not match. So everything must be same as far as column names are concerned. So if that is okay, because it is already okay with us through this converter, so I need to now go for give me some online CSV merger. There are many utilities. You can do it within OpenRefine also, but you need a separate program for that. There are a lot of command line CSV merging also. Also cat command will do. But in case of cat command, in every cases the header file will be repeated. So there are three files, three headers. So in your final dataset there will be three header, and you need to manually delete that. So to avoid that kind of confusion, that kind of problem, I can simply search any online CSV merger, because I am merging three different CSV files here. So this one, the first one is the merge-csv.com, nice one. So you can open it up. Then what it is asking, that you select your CSV file. Select your CSV file. So these are the three. You can select in one go. Result 1, 2, 3. Now click open. So all will now go in one go there. Result 3, 2, 1. Now the problem is that there is no harm if you are keeping this order, but suppose you need to change the order. Result 1 will go high first, second will come next, third will come next, and so on. So when your uploading is over, it will be saying that ready, and you can drag to change order. So I am changing the order. 2 must come after 1. It is not needed here, it is not mandatory, but I'm saying that if you need this, so you can easily change the order. So the order was initially 3 to 1, now I changed to 1 2 3. And here this one I was asking for. So this particular utility is a very important one. Always check doubly that this particular option is checked, that is keep header only in the first file, because in the second and third file the header will be a garbage, that is this DOI title 0 abstract and so on. So now I can safely say merge CSV files. So it is almost in lightning speed, the CSV file merge. Then I can click download, and again they are also using advertisement. Okay, so now save it. Save to where? You can save to desktop. So now this merge CSV file, what we have merged and saved, that is actually our target file, and that includes all 2167 number of records with DOI, title, and abstract. So I can now rename it. Say I am renaming it LGBT CMS Lab. CMS Lab is the name of the LGBT vocabulary control system we are designing, collaborative, multilingual, uh, and linked open vocabulary. LOV stands for linked open vocabulary. So this particular file we have created, and now I can convert this into my OpenRefine. So let me close this. I am going now to create project tool, browse where it is available in desktop. Then what is the file? Is LGBT COS love.csv next. So it is now parsing this everything. Now you see here, in some cases you may find this problem. The way I expect this data set, in the preview button I am not getting it. So here you see it is selected as tab by default, not comma. So let me change it to comma. I am using comma as a separator between the columns. So the moment I switch over to comma, it will again show me that this is the thing. This one or two row are open nothing, that we need to delete, and this is from where it is actually starting. So I can also say that ignore uh, zero line, ignore first two rows, first three rows. So if I say ignore first three rows, let me see what happened. So now you see my result in the way I exactly wanted. So before transferring this kind of large CSV file, if it is not coming properly, so do not get nervous. You can see that whether it is tabs or custom, then switch over to comma, because when we created this one in the JSON to CSV converter, we selected comma must be the separator. So that's why it is called CSV, comma separated values. CSV stands for comma separated values. TSV stands for tab separated values. So exactly you need to check. Then if some garbage is coming in the initially beginning, here you can see that ignore first zero line, it will be by default. So I wrote three lines and updating the review, preview, and it will show me that. And I think now it is okay. So now let me give a name, say LGBT COMS love dataset, so that I can understand later on that what is this project all about. Now I can safely create project. So all 2168 numbers of rows came. Okay. Now what is the title? What is the DUI? Everything. Now I can change safely the column name. Title 0 looks short, so rename it. So make it title. How to do that? In the bottom down, you select, then you can click edit column, then rename this column. So okay, abstract is okay. But here you see in the abstract part also there is a problem, because this is called this is a messy data. You are utilizing OpenRefine to create a tidy data set. So tagline of OpenRefine, you can see that this is a tool for messy data, and this is exactly an example of messy data, because from CrossRef we have collected, it started with JATS colon P, P stands for paragraph, and ends with this JATS colon P. So I don't want that. And again, there is a space JATS colon P. So how to get rid of this beginning of the paragraph and end of the paragraph? Very simple. So there are 2168 number of records, exactly the number of records we fetched from CrossRef, and you can display 10 per row, 25 rows altogether, and so on. You can switch over to one set to another set. Say let me display 100 records here, and here you see there are now 22 pages. I can go to the last page, next page, or any number of middle page. Say I am interested to see what is in the set 15. So this is the set 15. Okay. And again, anytime you can come back to the first record, and this first record, second record, this is the row number created automatically by the OpenRefine. But I want to get rid of this paragraph, what to say, paragraph tags on in HTML here. Things are very simple. Say I can check that replace. Is there anything? Say if I come edit cells and click that replace. So what I want to replace? Before that, it is always better to copy this one. So I'm copying exactly. I want to replace this, and now I am clicking that edit cells. Cells means all the cells under this column. Then replace. What to replace? Gatsby, and replace with what? A space. Again, we will be showing how to deal with the leading space and ending space. So now click OK. So in all 2168 record, it will tell you that in 203 number of cells it found this JATS-P and it replaced. And now you see it starts with a blank space, not JATS-P. Similarly, I want to also replace this ending paragraph. So copy, edit cell, replace space this one, and again replace with a space. Don't worry about the leading and front page. So 531 cells it found Gatsby and automatically reduced. And now I want to manage my leading and ending space. So again go to edit cell, common transform. Here you see trim leading and trailing white space. So if you click, so all cells with a leading space or a trailing space will be managed. So now you see there is no leading space. So in this way, you can see again some other disturbance you can find in this data. I want only the raw text, title and abstract later on. So this title and abstract I need. That's why I'm cleaning up all kind of garbage there. And here you can see still there is some starting P and ending P. So that you also need to take care in the same way. I'm not explaining anything anymore because I'm repeating. And ending P. See where is this? So this is the ending P in one record. Then in some records, this JATS P is also there because I have given space uh, JATS P. Now it is without space JATS P. So two things are not same. That's why it is there. So let me now clear first this one. This kind of job will be there for data curation because you need data in the raw text format for the next purpose. Now trim, leading and trailing. No, it is replace P with space. So 131. Then we also found Jets P without space. So this one. Again replace with the space. So 1511 cells included that one. And now again I am going for edit cell, common transform, trim leading and trailing white space. So 1505 cells trim. So now my data looks like I can utilize it further because I have raw text in title, raw text in abstract. But what this particular thing saying, let me add one thing. So now it is telling you check open access parameters of the dataset by utilizing unpayable through REST API. Prepare an analytical report of different OA parameters of your dataset. And let me add one additional task. So additional task I want to add is like that, create or extract major major concepts or keywords from your abstract. So that I want to add here. So go to show more, then this is the 5, 6. Use NLP techniques to extract entities from the raw abstract column. Okay. And what is the last date? Can you remember? It is 30th June.
হ্যাঁ স্যার 30/6/2022 ছিল।
11:59. Fine. So now it is. I'm going to the next level. That is my data from OpenRefine came very smoothly. I checked and curated data set according to for production of the raw text. And now suppose another important thing is that in some of the cases for a large data set, suppose Orpita Jana is here.
Yes, sir.
Orpita.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. যেমন ধরো and API rate limit is not allowing, say, 1,000 per hour or 1,000 per day, that kind of thing. Or suppose it's a very time consuming process, so she wants to fetch data for only 100 or for only 50. So how to do that? In that case, that kind of problem I faced initially. So I get rid of that problem, or I got rid of that particular kind of problem through a kind of a kind of innovative approach. It is not written anywhere, but you have to apply your common sense for that kind of checking. So I don't want to throw these 2168 number of records in one go. I want to display first 100, next 100, or first 50, next 50, and so on, and then I can utilize. So what my suggestion is that this particular row number is created by the software, so you cannot utilize this without creating a column of it. So suppose I want to create a column called id against each of these record by taking this row number. So row number will be the id for my record, but it is not part of my database. It is created by the machine. So what I will do, I will create a column, add column, sorry, based on any column. So I'm giving the column name as id. Then I will give uh, row dot index, that is row index number. So you see, row dot index means it is starting from 0, but we are not quite comfortable in real life situation. A record id is 0, next one is 1. So let us go by our own way, 1 2 3 4. So I am adding 1. So row index plus 1 means row number plus 1. So every time it will be adding one numerical number with the available row index. So now you see, I am getting a beautiful ID column. for all the records, and I can place it in the front. So move to the beginning. So now my all of these 2168 data are got a ID number depending on the row number. Initially you can think that this is a repetition of this one, but please remember this is not part of your database. It is created by the this OpenRefine, and you cannot utilize this until and unless you store it. So I'm storing this row index value here, and for what? If I go to the last set also, you can see the last set is 2168, exactly the row number. So what is the benefit of this one? Okay, so suppose in this class if I throw to open define that check the you can go in one way because 2000 records is not a big deal, but if you are having 20,000, 30,000, 1 lakhs of record, so there it will be problematic. So here this is my last record. So what I will do, I will select only 50 records to throw to unpayable, then another 50 records to throw to unpayable, and I'm going to show you how can I merge this one initially. If you do not have any problem with the number of records and your time, then you can directly throw this UI to unpayable. But suppose I have time constant in this particular class, I need to close this class by 1 hour. So already 1 hour is over, but I need to close, say for example, 1 hour 15 minutes. So quickly, how can you take only 10 records and the next 10 record to show you that how it is working? So let us go for the first 10 records. So what I will do now, I will come to this ID column and I will create a filter, and I will create a custom filter, say custom text facet, for example. Then I am saying boolean operator and value greater than is equal to 1, comma, that is the second condition, value less than is equal to 10. So here you see what you, again I am telling you that what I did in the ID column, I have selected facet. Under the facet, custom text facet, and under the custom text facet, I am selecting a boolean function that I need from this value to this that value. So the syntax is you first give and boolean and, then give the first condition, that is the you are integrating these two conditions, na, value greater than is equal to 1 and value less than is equal to 10. So I am giving boolean, I am telling my OpenRefine I am designing a boolean function where first value will be greater than is equal to 1 and the next value will be greater than is equal less than is equal to 10. You see here for first 10 record it is true, and from 11 onwards it is false. So the moment I click OK, what it will do, it will create a facet here true and false. So false is 2158, true is 10. So suppose I want to deal with this 10, so I'm creating true train. So now 10 matching row will be presented. So if I throw this 10 DOIs, so I'm throwing only 10 DOI to API this unpayable, not all 2168. So let me throw it. You already know this one, so I'm not explaining. Edit column, add column by fetching URL. Then suppose I have unpayable, possibly yes. So suppose I'm utilizing this one, that API unpayable v2 value is the DOI, then my email. In your case, it will be your email. Don't use my email ID there, because I am a heavy user of unpayable. So if it is crossing somehow 1 lakh per day, it will block me for 7 days. So don't use my email ID. Use your own, because in your case it will never go lakhs per day. So I'm giving a column name TMP. Okay. So now click OK. So for all these 10 records, 10 DUI, it will connect the unpay wall and it will fetch data. You can see all 10 records, it takes almost 2 minutes. More than 2 minutes actually. It's taking almost okay. So it is creating for this 10 matching of it is creating this one this temp value. Now suppose I am storing next 20 also, next 10 also I will be targeting, but before that what I will do, I will create a column, the add column on the basis of this column as unpay wall. So it will take this 10 exactly and it will create. I'm just duplicating. You can say I'm just duplicating and renaming temp file there. And in that case, I will delete my temp folder because I have already transferred this data. So remove this column. Then I am closing this filter. See, I am again in 2168 rows and 10 columns are filled with unpayable data. In most of the cases, it got it unpayable data. Fine. Now my target is the next 10. I'm showing here 10, it can be 100, it can be 1000, it can be 2000, anything because this is very flexible. Again, I am going to my ID and saying that and please do not confuse with yourself that if I have a less number of records, can I don't should not I go in one go? Yes, if you have time, if you have less number of data, if your API rate limit is not restricting you, then you are always welcome to go for in one go all 2168 number of records from unpayable because we have time enough for 4 hours, 3 hours to 4 hours. We there is no API rate limit. API rate limit is 1 lakhs per call if you are giving email ID. So there is no absolutely no problem. But in some cases, in case of huge number of records, what Olpita is facing that arithmetic data they are giving only 1,000 per day in 24 hours. So I need to I need to check that it is not crossing 1,000 because in that case it will be blocking you for 24 hours or 2 days like that. So for her it is quite and for all of your cases in future that may be very useful technique that I am now selecting the next 10. So again I am going to facet, custom text facet, and once you created it, it is there in the history. So I'm selecting add, and this time I am selecting that value greater than is equal to 11 and value less than is equal to 20 because up to 10 I have already covered. So now again it will say ki 10 is true, rest is false. So now if I click this 10, so now row number 11 to 20 will come. Sorry, roll number 11 to 10 will come and unpayable is blank. So what I will do, I will again use this DY add column by fetching URL history and then this API preview, and again I am giving the column name as temp. So now it will fetch for another trend records and it will create a column called temp. And then I will transfer that temp value to the unpayable, corresponding unpayable column. You see how to do that. So now it is fetching for the 20 record, next 10 records, 11 to 20. So this came. Now I will transfer this temp data into the corresponding unpayable. So what I will do, only 10 matching rows, I don't have to worry. So what I will do, edit cell, transform. Now what value? Value will be sales. Please remember the plural, not sales. The name of the cell from which I want to take value. Exactly the way it is named. It is named as TEMP, T capital. So I'm giving TEMP dot value. So the moment what I did here, again I am repeating. Let me cancel it. So I want to get this data, this column data here for the record number 11 to 20. So what I will do, I will go to an unpayable, edit cell, transform, and then what to transform? I want to transform the value from this particular cells. So sales dot cell name TMP dot value, that particular take value. So exactly you see DUI 10.189, DUI 10.189. So all 10 records 11 to 20 will be populated now unpayable. And then I can again safely remove this column. Remove this column. So again I can repeat for the next 10, that means 21 to 30. So again I will transform this to the corresponding unpayable column. So otherwise, if you are thinking that for the first 10, temp 1, temp 2, temp 3, so that's a novice approach. This is a much smart approach where you can fetch, transfer, delete, and again fetch the next set. Orpita, you are getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Oh, fine. So this is the for the 20 records. Now you see, if I say that how many records are having this unpayable data, I can check facet, customize facet, facet by blank. So most possibly it will say that 19 records, because one record it failed to fetch. It may so happen that it is not getting the unpayable data. Unpayable data covers almost 96 to 7%, but 3% is huge. So false. So now I can click this one. So all the 19 rows or records for which I have got unpayable data will be displayed now. And then finally at the end of the your exercise, when you are getting data for the all rows and records, then you find that 30 40 rows and records are not having unpayable data, so you can delete that one by clicking this true. Then you can delete those rows, because at your what the task I have given here, that is you given access parameters, and you already know that how to extract data through Grail. For example, I want OA color, so or is OA false, OA true or not, OA status I want to know, whether repository copy is available or not. You already know, or should I repeat?
No, sir, we know that.
How to extract this is OA false or true, OA status closed or yellow, green, etc. You can do it, or should I
Yes, sir.
show you one example? What yes, show or I can do?
No, we can do, sir.
Very good. Fine. So now I'm going to the next, tasks I have added today. That can I use this, abstract, raw abstract, and use NLP technique to extract entities. So in the previous class, I already told you that we can go for different kind of name extraction. Either you can utilize Dandelion, or you can utilize your NLP, Stanford NLP. And how to do that? If you are usually interested in Dandelion, you go to dandelion.eu. There you need to register first, okay, and you need to obtain your API key. So it's a very simple step anyone can do. So here you sign up first, then log on into the site, and then you will be seeing an link that request for API. So you request for API that will be valid for 1 year, and API rate limit is 1,000 call per day for 24 hours. Then you come back to your OpenRefine with that API, and you already know that in the named entity extraction you are having an option, because before that you need to install the plugin named entity recognition. So you search or go to the download section of OpenDefine, download the latest named entity extraction plugin, and place in the plugin folder in the very beginning of this tutorial. I have demonstrated that. So after you restart your OpenDefine, you should see a named entity extract recognition button here, and you also see under any column that extract named entities. So these two must be visible. That is the plugin is doing. So the moment I see this, now I can configure services. So there are three services supported: DBpedia by default, then Dandelion, that is the API key you have to place here, and if you are running Stanford NLP, you can use your local host, because that I have already demonstrated. So let me talk about the DBpedia and Dandelion today. So DBpedia requires no configuration; it is free, no API. But Dandelion, you better have an API and paste it here. Then after that is over, you can now come here. Now extract name entities, and then you can select, because all three I have added. So suppose I am selecting DBpedia. So start extraction. So now it will throw the raw text to DBpedia and will fetch the entity. And there again, for example, again you see the advantages of it. If I give all these 2000 records, it will take much time. So let me go for the first 10 records again. You see this, once you do it, it will be much more beneficial for all kind of testing and other things. So again I am selecting value is equal to 1 to 10. Now select only true. So I'm checking or playing with only these 10 rows or records. The extract name entities, DBpedia, but do not select two at one time. That will create problem. One at a time. So start extraction. So now you see it will fetch only 10 records and it will take less number of time. So DBpedia dataset it is using, and Dandelion is using Wikipedia dataset. So after this extraction, it will create a column called DBpedia. So it is fetching the most important concept is taxon here, and it is also relating, say second and third. Everywhere it is actually linking to the DBpedia source from where it is got. The moment you click, you will see that this, what does it mean, taxon in DBpedia. And to be on the safe side, it is always better to check with another one. So most of the cases, if you are going for a very specific thing, in some of the cases, this named entity extraction fail, because here taxon is not a good match. Okay. এখন শোনা যাচ্ছে?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
শোনা যাচ্ছে এখন? হ্যালো?
হ্যাঁ স্যার, এবার শোনা যাচ্ছে। মাঝে একবার কেটে গিয়েছিল, মানে আপনি শোনা যাচ্ছে বলার পর আবার কেটে গিয়েছিল। তো শোনা যাচ্ছে।
হ্যাঁ, আমাকে সুমিত ফোন করলো। ওকে, কতক্ষণ অবধি দেখতে পেয়ে বলো? মানে ওই ড্যান্ডেলিয়ন দেখা যাচ্ছে?
স্যার আপনি যখন ওই টাকশনটা ক্লিক করলেন কি সেটা দেখার জন্য তত দূর অবধি হয়েছিল।
এক্স্যাক্টলি প্রসেস হলো।
দেখার জন্য তত দূর অবধি হয়েছিল।
So after that, what I did actually, this I collected this one Dandelion. So Dandelion is based on Wikipedia, and the same process. It got almost all the things, and You can, if you compare, you can see that Dandelion is producing better result than DBpedia, which is based on wiki data. And if I try to do the same thing, and here you see it is homophobia, it is homophobic. Homophobia is much more relevant term. And how can I say that these are all coming from Wikipedia? Because the moment I click homophobia here, it is, you can see it is coming from Wikipedia actually. So the text corpus of Wikipedia it is collecting, it is using actually for data extraction. And if I click here in case of DBpedia, so you can see this homophobic is coming from DBpedia. So the data sources are different. For Dandelion, it is Wikipedia, and for this one DBpedia, it is the DBpedia corpus. And if you want to utilize a local tool like this one, Stanford NLP, that you can also do. Possibly I have demonstrated that Stanford NLP in the class.
হ্যাঁ স্যার, আপনি ওখানে দেখিয়েছিলেন, রেকর্ডিং করেন। হ্যাঁ স্যার।
So আর স্ট্যানফোর্ড এনএলপি কোত্থেকে পাওয়া যাবে কি না, তুমি তো গুগল সার্চ করলেই পেয়ে যাবে। জাস্ট ডাউনলোড দ্য jar file, create a folder there, you extract it here, and within the readme file it is written that how to call it. So in my case what I did, all of this reconcile NER file I placed in one folder, and this is my this Stanford NLP. This is the latest version 4.3.0, and this is the script I have created. Script is nothing, just to remember that how to call it. If you don't want to remember everything, then it's a better approach. You write a script and call that script. So you can see that what is written in this script. It is nothing but calling of a file. So I'm calling Java with a maximum heap memory 4 GB. Then this one, and in which port I want to run, and if it is not responding any particular request, then what is the timeout. So this kind of things you can create by reading the readme.txt file, and then you can call your script. So that's all for today. If you are not having any question, we are closing this, and if you have any question you can ask.